Hello! What if I just broke out into the Adele lyrics? If you don't follow me on Instagram, which you should, link is down there. And while you're down there, click the subscribe button. Also, while you're down there, one of my really good friends has a YouTube channel on here. He has the voice of an angel. I need to go hear it because, like, once you do, you're gonna want to marry him. So, link is below. Go subscribe to him. Tell him I sent you. Send him some love. But anyways, on Instagram, I've been sort of keeping some of you updated. I've been gone for a little while. Reason being is because, well, we have a baby now. 35 weeks he was born, so he was a little bit preterm. And anyways, this is the first time, reasonable time, that I have to sit down and talk about my labor and delivery, which I'm sure some of you want to hear about. But anyways, before I do that, this is baby Stefan. He was awake and he's like not anymore. If you want to go see pictures, there are more on Instagram, and I'll be posting more as the days go on. He will, he's like almost, depending on when this goes up, he's almost 3 weeks. So he's super cute. He's really cute. I don't know, I think he's adorable. His name is Stefan Craig, and I love him. I think he's really cute. And yeah, sorry, I'm a little scatterbrain. Yeah, pregnancy brain just sort of flowed right into postpartum brain, so that's a thing. I don't know if that's a thing, but it is now. But anyways, he's Stefan. He hates that. I think it's funny. Aren't you cute? You know you're cute. Let's talk about how I gave birth. My entire family had gone through the flu. I don't know if it was around your area a couple weeks ago or still is or whatever, but everyone in my household had the flu, and I was kind of thinking the last one to get it. But anyways, I called HealthLink, and they told me to go to the hospital, like they always do. So like if you're pregnant, just like go to the hospital, skip HealthLink, because like they'll just tell you to go. But anyways, so I went to the hospital. And I went up to like the specified floor. I didn't have to go through emerge, so that's super cool. But they told me that I could be having the flu or I could be going into labor, one or the other. So I'm thinking that's freaking fantastic. Yay! Okay. So they told me that I can't remember if it was 1/2 centimeter or 1.5 centimeters dilated. But yeah. Anyway, so they were like, hey, we're gonna keep you overnight to see if anything changes or whatever. So I said okay, yay, all right. But then they had noticed that his heartbeat was like really low and really weird and had like weird dips and everything, which I don't know if that had anything to do with like my vomiting or anything like that, but it was weird. So they kept me on monitors for maybe like a couple hours. I don't know, I went into the hospital at like 8:30, and then I was in triage for about an hour, maybe 2, and then they put me to a room, and an obstetrician came to see me and was like looking at the monitor and was telling me that I'm having these contractions, but I was not feeling them at all. So that's cool. Apparently I was having like high pain contractions that I was not feeling. But anyway, so she like sat there and she was looking at his heart rate, and she said that it's real weird and that they're going to section me. So at that point, this lady is like telling me to take my jewelry off, like whatever. And at that point, I'm not like, oh my god, they're gonna cut me open, I'm terrified. No. Then I'm thinking, oh my god, I don't have a stroller ordered. Like that's what's going through my brain. Like I'm not ready, I have nothing set up, none of the clothes are washed, like literally nothing. He was not supposed to come for another month, right? That's what's going through my head, not the fact that they're about to cut me open and pull a baby out. No. Anyways, so they like put me on the bed, or I was on the bed already, and they put this like cap on me, and then my mom got in these scrubs and put a little cap thing on her, and they're wheeling me to the OR with these like elevators and whatever, and they're like all calm and whatever, and I'm calm too, like I'm not freaking out in any way, just the fact that I don't have a stroller or car seat or clothes or anything for him. And then they wheel me in there, or my mom is like kept on the outside while they give me drugs, but they pull me in there, they transfer me onto another bed, And they sit me up, and the anesthesiologist, I believe I said that correctly, he put spinal, like the spinal epidural numbing thing into me. 1 second, lost my train of thought.
Sorry, I missed that.
Thank you, sorry. I missed that too. Okay, so they wheeled me in there, they put the spinal in, and that was scary. Let me tell you, that was a little bit scary because there's a needle going into your spine. They could paralyze you. And at that point, I'm thinking, yeah, they could paralyze me, but my baby will be okay, so it's all good. So anyways, and the nurse is telling me, like, this guy has done this multiple times, or many times, like, it's been fine, like, you're gonna be okay. And I'm not, like, freaking out. I'm fine, so I don't know, nobody needed to, like, sit there and, like, calm me down. But anyways, so they lay me down, and I'm starting to go numb, and my mom comes in, and she's, like, sitting next to me, and she's, like, talking to me. And yeah, then I feel my body, like I was numbed chest down, so I couldn't feel anything from my chest down. And they put this like sheet in front of my face so I couldn't see anything, which I would not want to anyways. If they gave me the option to, I wouldn't. Nope, no, I would not. Yeah, so they're just like doing their thing. Nobody said anything like, okay, like we're starting now, or like whatever. I'm just like laying there talking to my mom, and she's like telling me like everything's gonna be okay, like blah blah. And I hate that. I freaking hate that, because I'm not freaking out. I'm not like thinking that something's gonna go wrong. It's just words like that are putting me in the state of thinking something's gonna go wrong. So I'm just like telling her to shut up basically, because I'm fine. I'm just whatever. I asked her if they started, and she said, yeah, he's almost out. But with the C-section, I wasn't sure where they were cutting me, because I honestly did not even look into it. Like, for a little while, I was thinking I was getting a C-section because he was breech, but then he flipped. So I'm like, okay, C-section's like out of the way, right? So I didn't even look into it really at all. I had no idea where they cut me open. Well, obviously, like I had a general idea they wouldn't cut me open in the foot, but like I didn't know where on my stomach or like my torso at all. Yeah, so I couldn't feel it, obviously. She's like, yeah, it's almost out. Like, he's almost out. And then I felt so much pressure, like an unbelievable amount of pressure, and like almost to the point where it was painful, like kind of on my chest rib cage area. And at that point, I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna throw up. And I told her, and then she told the nurse. They got me these little buckets. Anyways, I threw up everywhere, literally everywhere. It was everywhere. Threw up everywhere, just because the pressure was just, I don't know. It was weird. I don't know how to explain it, but I know it was terrible. Anyway, so they pulled him out, and they're just like, oh, like, do you know what it is? I'm like, yeah, it's a boy. He's like, yeah, it's a boy. And then I didn't even get to hold him or see him or like anything. They just like throw him on this table that I like kind of see him. And I'm like, oh my God, like I just want to hold my baby. But the obstetrician beforehand told me that if he comes out crying, there was no reason for them to cut me open. But if he didn't, then good thing that they did the C-section, and he was not crying, so it's a good thing that they pulled him out. But so they pull him out, and they put him on oxygen and IVs on this and that, and they asked me if I wanted my mom to stay with me or go with him to NICU, and I told them that I wanted her to go with him. So she went with him, and I was stuck on that freaking operating table. Anyways, the second they like wheel him away, again, I don't even get to see him. They do not bring him close to me. They just put him on there and then wheel him away. Yeah, so the second they leave, with my mom, I'm like stuck there on this table. They're sewing me up. Again, I can't feel this. I just know that's what's happening. And this nurse is just kind of there, whatever. And then all of a sudden, I feel the worst like cold rush I've ever felt in my life. Like, I could not handle it. I was so cold. I was dying, like dying. I was so cold. I was shivering and like moving from side to side, like I could not get warm. And I told the nurse that I was like dying and I needed heat. So they put 4 warm blankets on me. I was still shivering. And then like bad chills, bad chills, and I could not get warm. And then they put this like fan heater thing into the blankets, so they were like heating up the blankets that were on me. Sorry. So they sewed me up, and they transferred me onto the same, I guess, bed that I was on before, and they wheeled me into, the recovery area. I was the only person there. There were 2 nurses or whatever they were, and they were just like making sure, they were running all the tests on me, you know, like checking blood pressure, temperature, heart rate, I don't know, all this stuff. And then I felt like the numbing actually did start to wear off at that point. He was born 11:19 p.m. just so if we're kind of putting things into perspective of time. While I was in recovery, it was about 12:30. So I was there, and then I felt like the numbing was starting to wear off, and I felt these like wiggly things on my calves, because that's supposed to like stimulate the blood. So then my mom comes in shortly after, and she's showing me photos of him on oxygen, on all this stuff, and I was just like, I haven't seen him at this point, you know, like I wanted to hold him, I wanted to see him, but I was not in a state to be going to NICU and like holding the kid. I didn't even know where he was. Like, I had no idea that he was in NICU. Well, I mean, like, where else would he be? But like, I didn't know. So then they pull me back to my room, and and I'm just like laying there. At this point, like, I'm awake, I'm sort of alert, I'm able to function as a human mentally, because honestly the whole OR situation and everything else was just kind of a blur. Like, I wasn't really that drugged up, but like everything is just kind of a blur, and I'm surprised I remember most of it anyways. But yeah, so I'm in my room, like all these nurses are checking all the blood pressure and all that one more time. There were so many times that blood pressure and temperature and everything was documented, I couldn't even tell you. But anyways, so I was there. Yeah, I was laying there, whatever. My mom kind of was figuring out the situation with my little brother, because like my grandma took him home, and she was like calling her and telling him that like, oh, he was born and stuff, like, can you stay the night, kind of thing. And then 2 of my friends came. She messaged, kind of, they have a group chat without me, like my mom and my 3 close friends, right? But anyways, she threw it out there that I was going into the OR, and she asked them to let the father know. And like, I don't really want to get into any of that, because like it doesn't really matter, and a lot of you guys have a lot of questions about him and like are constantly asking and constantly trying to stalk him on social media and whatever. Let it go, okay? Don't. It doesn't matter. It's me and Steph and I from now on. So he's not involved at all. So just so you guys know, for those of you that are interested, he's not involved. He was not there at the hospital. That's all you guys need to know, and just let it go, okay? Let it be at that. So then 2 of the 3 friends showed up, because the other one was leaving for Mexico the next morning, so she couldn't be there. But the 2 of them showed up, and they like hung out with me for a little bit, and then my mom took them to NICU to see Steph. And yeah, they saw him before I did, you know? They held, no, I don't think they held them. They didn't hold him. They didn't hold him until I did, but yeah. So then they hung out with me for a little bit, we talked, blah, blah, blah. And then they went home, and then I tried to sleep a little bit, because I was just exhausted, you know? So anyways, I tried to do that, and then my mom stayed with me as well, and she kind of slept. We both got like maybe 5 hours at most. But yeah. And then the next morning, the nurse got me like up. I couldn't like hold my own weight up at all, because like I don't know, it was really difficult to like stand on my feet and everything, and it hurt a lot, and I was on a lot of pain meds because it really hurt, you know? But anyways, yeah, so that morning they put me in the wheelchair and took me to see him, because that was the first time. Oh my god, Jesus. So he was born October 9th, and then October 10th in the morning I got to go see him for the first time and hold him and everything. I looked terrible. The night that I went into the hospital, I was gonna like wash my hair, and I didn't get a chance to do that, so it was really gross. Yeah. But yeah, so I hung out with him for a bit, and then I went back to my room and like ate and blah blah, and then I went back to NICU and all that fun stuff. So I stayed in the hospital 2 nights, and then they discharged me the next, like October 12th, they discharged me then. And then I didn't want to go home because my baby was in the hospital, so I thought I would have preferred to stay. and they wouldn't let me, so I asked to room in, and so I roomed in that one night. And the following day was my birthday. October 13th was my birthday, and like the social worker comes into my room in the morning and she's like, we need this room for delivery, so like, can you know, they didn't need the freaking room. It was empty all day and I was really mad, but I did pack my stuff and went to NICU with my million bags and everything, which, by the way, I had nothing packed for my hospital bag, nor did I bring anything. Like, I literally came with my little bag with like my wallet and like my phone and like Vaseline, literally what I came into the hospital with to have a baby. Yeah, anyhow, so that night, my birthday night, I went home for like a couple of hours to sleep, and I had like major anxiety that night because I felt so bad that he had to be there and I was home, and yeah, I was not happy about it, so I was like crying all night. But anyways, yeah, and then the next day I went back to the hospital and I stayed the night that night. And I don't think you honestly care how many nights I stayed in the hospital, but by saying I stayed in the hospital, I mean I like slept in the chair that's next to like his bed. Yeah, so not like I didn't get a room. They discharged me before they discharged him. He was in the hospital for a week and a day, and I was there for 2, so like that was frustrating. But yeah, so he was not able to go home for so long because, well, he was preterm. He was born at 35 weeks and 3 days. They have it down as 2 days, but it was definitely 3 days. But yeah, so that's why he was there, and he was on oxygen, but then he was taken off of that. And then he had an IV, but that fell out and they didn't put it back in. But then he did have jaundice, or he still, I guess, does have jaundice, and he was on lights for 4 days on like phototherapy. Yeah, and then his weight gain was weird, like he was losing weight and everything. But finally, on like a week later, he was discharged and we got to go home. Now he's with me, so he's been home with me for over a week now. Yeah, over a week, so a week and a half. And we've been doing good. I'm happy. He's happy, as far as I know. He's really cute, and I love him so much. And my parents and everyone's been very supportive. And I've been seeing a lot of friends. I've been seeing a lot of friends' moms because they're freaking great, and I just hang out with their moms. But yeah, so it's been a great experience. Very, very, very unexpected. Like I said, he was not supposed to come for another month, but I'm glad he did. And I'm glad I got a C-section out of it, so I didn't have to sit in labor for hours. And by the way, if you're wondering, the incision is like right below the belt line. For those of you that don't know, because I didn't know. And I was really afraid that the recovery process was going to take like a lifetime and a half. But like I said, I was up the second day and I was walking and everything, and I'm totally fine now. I'm off all medications. Once in a while I'll drink a Tylenol, but nothing beyond that. And yeah, so we're home. He's growing. He's gaining lots. He has surpassed his birth weight, so he's doing well. He's 6.5 pounds now. He was born at 5'11", so that's pretty cool. And yeah, he's really cute, and I love him a lot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions, I think I'm gonna do a like this video Q&A kind of deal. You know what I mean? Like a delivery Q&A or something like that. So I think I will be announcing that or something, whatever, like on Instagram. So follow me again. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy him as much as I'm enjoying him. He's a little cutie pie and I love him, like I said. So yeah, subscribe to my channel to make sure. Why are you like jittering? What is going on? But anyway, subscribe to my channel to make sure that you get updated when I upload, and so you don't miss out any more of him, because like it's been a while. It's been a while since I talked to you guys, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you soon.